When I married Laura, I thought we were unbreakable. We met in college, survived long-distance jobs, and promised each other that no matter how busy life became, we would never lose sight of us. For years, she was my safe place, my reason for working hard, my reason for believing in love. But things started to shift when she got promoted. Suddenly, there was a new name in her daily vocabulary, Eric. He was her colleague, someone she swore was just a friend. At first, I believed her. I wanted to. She laughed about his jokes at dinner, texted him late at night, and told me how much easier he made her job. I tried to ignore the unease building inside me, but it grew louder with every story she shared. I noticed how her phone lit up with his messages while we were watching movies, how her eyes softened in a way they no longer did with me. I told myself I was imagining things, that I was being insecure. But deep down I knew. The breaking point came one Saturday morning. I suggested we spend the weekend away together, just the two of us. Her response was hesitant, almost rehearsed. Actually, she said, not meeting my eyes, Eric and I are heading to a conference. We thought it'd be good to travel together. Her words hit me like ice water. I stared at her, waiting for the punchline, waiting for her to laugh and say she was joking. But she didn't. She packed her bag with a calmness that made my stomach twist. That evening, before she left, I asked her one final time, "Laura, are you choosing him over me?" She paused, her back still turned. Then she whispered, "I don't know. He understands me in ways you don't anymore." It felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. My wife, the woman I had built my life with, was telling me she found something in another man that she no longer saw in me. My chest ached, but I forced myself to stand tall. When she finally turned around, I met her eyes and said the words I never thought I'd have to speak. "Then you've already made your choice. And so have I. Go to him, Laura. But understand this, you don't get to come back." Her face crumbled. She hadn't expected me to say it, hadn't expected the firmness in my voice. She reached out, her hand trembling. "Wait, don't say that. I just need time to figure things out." But I shook my head. "No. You don't get time. You had a husband who loved you, who gave you everything. And instead of working on us, you gave your heart to someone else. That's not confusion, that's betrayal." She tried to protest, but the silence between us was heavier than her words. She left that night, suitcase in hand, her shoulders hunched as if she carried the weight of her choices. I sat alone in our living room, staring at the door she had walked through, replaying every memory we shared. The laughter, the promises, the quiet nights holding each other close. All of it felt like ashes in my hands. Days later, she came back, tear-stained and broken. She confessed that Eric wasn't what she thought, that the connection she imagined was just an illusion. She begged me to forgive her, to let her try again. But something inside me had changed. I looked at her and said, "You taught me something, Laura. Love can survive distance, stress, even mistakes. But it cannot survive being second choice. I deserve more than that. I deserve someone who doesn't need to figure it out. Someone who chooses me every day without hesitation." Her sobs filled the room, but for the first time in weeks, I felt calm. My heart was shattered, yes, but it was also free. Sometimes the words that change everything aren't shouted in anger. They're spoken quietly with finality. And those words, "Go to him, but don't come back," became the line that ended one chapter of my life and began another. Because love is about choice. And I finally chose myself.